good friends just made a podcast. Two good friends just made a podcast. Two good friends just made a podcast. It's called Culture Bucket. Two good friends just made a podcast. Two good friends just made a podcast. Two good friends just made a podcast. Culture Bucket. Georgia and Alex.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the universe's greatest podcast ever in the world, everyone's favourite. It's the Culture Bucket podcast where two great, good, best friends talk all things pop culture back and forth with lists and reviews, etc, etc. I am your host, George, and with me is your co-host, your other host, Alex. Hi, Alex.
Hi, George. Hi, everyone. Are you excited?
Yes.
Why?
Because we are now recording our 100th episode of this podcast.
It's been 100 episodes.
Yep. Today, as a celebration of such eventful times, we're doing a redo.
Yeah,
we're doing a big redo. We're going back to our early episodes on our top 5 films and our top 5 albums. We're checking our lists twice, like Santa does.
Yeah.
And probably changing them completely because they're mad.
My list was so crazy. I'm quite embarrassed by it. I don't know why.
My albums list is weird. I guess, we recorded those episodes in the summer of 2020.
Yeah.
I guess. And I don't know, it was a weird time. It was obviously the height of COVID and etc. and we're all trapped inside and the world was strange and different and it was hard to deal with the world. And
definitely, yeah.
it made my pop culture selections go mad. But now probably in 3 years' time, the new lists I've made will look insane as well. We'll have to wait and see.
I was thinking that as well. We're just looking at it. I was like, is this it? Is this the ultimate list? Probably not.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd like to be like the film critic in the UK, Mark Kermode. His favourite film, famously, is The Exorcist.
Yeah.
And it never, ever changes, ever.
Oh.
He'll never change that. I'd love to be able to find such permanent joy in one thing.
Yeah.
But I don't. I move between things.
Yeah, absolutely. Depend on how I feel. Which I think is good. We are ever changing, ever evolving humans. So culture changes and our settings change and pandemics happen.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Before we get into it, we should ask people to do the usual thing of rate us, review us, give us a like. You can do it in app, I heard. Whatever app you're using, just go in, rate and review us, tell people what you think of us, tell your friends about us, get the word out about us, give us a written review, we'll read it out if we get any of those. We'd love to hear from you, hear what you think of us. You can find links to all of our social medias in the show notes for this episode and every episode, along with links to do things like buy us a coffee. If you'd like to buy us a coffee and support us as well, we'd really appreciate it. We got one a couple of weeks ago from Eliza, and it made us both feel very warm and fuzzy, so thank you for that again.
Thank you, Lisa.
Yeah. So, are we going to do albums or films first?
What do we do in... I think we did films first, didn't we?
No, we did albums first.
Oh, okay, so let's do albums first.
I think because we did music, we did loads of music episodes and then realised that we're better at talking about films. Yeah, top 5 albums was our 3rd episode and top 5 films was our 4th episode.
Okay.
So, albums first.
Okay.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Our top 5.
What were your top 5 albums in the summer of 2020?
Oh my god. Okay, number 5, I had Lemonade by Beyonce. Number 4, OK Computer.
Hang on.
What?
Don't kill the cow immediately.
I don't kill cows.
Exactly, so let it luxuriate for a minute.
Okay, number 5.
That's a great album, Beyonce's Lemonade. What's wrong with that?
No, it's wonderful. However, it's
Is the worst
everybody's
still to come?
It's everybody's favorite album, and I don't know.
I don't know if that's
After
true.
Swarm, I'm just kind of like a little bit.
Oh,
off
really?
her.
You get off Beyonce
Yeah.
because of Swarm, but she
No,
didn't
but also
even.
because of like her massive concert in Dubai and all of
Ah,
that and the, you know,
okay, fair enough. That was a weird thing. Although I guess I don't know. I think every big band does those things. They just don't promote it as much as Beyonce's was for some reason.
but I
I don't
guess
know why
why,
that thing Beyonce did was made such a big event.
yeah, but also why do it? Why do you need the money? Do you need to like, you
They
know,
always want more money, don't they?
I know, but I don't know. I just kind of feel like the more she goes on, the more detached she is.
As Batman said, you either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
Yeah, because I love her albums, I love her music, I love what she tries to say. But however, like I don't see anything else concrete. Like her music speaks a lot, but I don't see any like concrete stuff that she does to actually make a change. So there's a
Hmm.
lot of like preaching, but where is the actual stuff?
I see what you mean. I don't know. Is she do? Surely she has some charitable causes that she works with.
I guess.
The list of charities Beyonce supports is both long and varied, but perhaps the greatest contribution she's made is the Survivor Foundation, an organisation she founded with fellow Destiny's Child Kelly Rowland to help victims of Hurricane Katrina. The foundation's accomplishments are many, including the Music World Cares Christmas Carnival that enabled over 300 low-income households to enjoy a fun-filled day of food, entertainment, a visit from Santa Claus, and free toys from the toy giveaway. She also held a series of food drives for her concerts in 2006 to collect the food that was so desperately needed by victims. But all of these things are from like this was written in 2023, and all the examples are pre-2010. So that is interesting. Cool. What was your number 4?
No Embarrassment. Okay, Computer, Radiohead.
Yeah, that's a good album.
Yeah.
But again, like with Lemonade, it's everyone's favourite album.
Yeah. But
But it's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine for it to be. Yeah.
Number 3, Blonde by Frank Ocean. Even though
Yeah.
his Coachella set wasn't great, I still
His Coachella
stand.
set was weird.
I still stand by him. I was saying to George before we started recording, I think there's a lot of pressure on Frank Ocean, and I think maybe when there's a lot of pressure, maybe you're overwhelmed by it.
I don't agree. I think he is ridiculous.
Yeah,
He
but
sells. Have you seen the jewellery and things he sells on his website? Like, he just wants to be into high fashion, high art. Like, he sells diamond encrusted penis rings and stuff like that.
yeah, but I feel okay, that's fine. But when you create 2 albums that become kind of part of pop culture and legendary and whatever, and you're expected to always, produce that kind of music, well, that people will love, then I think maybe when he hasn't released another album, so maybe he hasn't got any more ideas. Maybe
Then
he doesn't want that
don't-
pressure.
Don't headline a big festival.
But did it not say that maybe there was like something behind it that they couldn't do, so he kind of gave up? Like the ice rink and stuff. There was supposed to be an ice rink with.
That ice rink that would have worked. That was all ready to go. He just decided he didn't want to do it at the last minute and cancel it, meaning that like a bunch of ice skating dancers who'd been practicing for weeks suddenly didn't have a job to do. I've just gone to his online shop called Homer. The very first thing you see listed is something called a Thayer Legs pendant, and it costs $1,200. I'm just a bit. It's not for me anymore, I don't think. I still love Blonde, but what Frank Ocean did at Coachella seemed. I'm not down. I'm not into it.
I guess it's not right because some people maybe just bought a ticket to Coachella to see him, and they're not cheap tickets. But
he had a DJ come out and do like 20 minutes of just remixes of his songs while he sat on a stool.
yeah, I don't even. Did he even come out on stage?
Frank Ocean did, yeah, but he was wearing this big blue parka with a hood pulled right up around his face, and he, for a bunch of it, he sort of just played recordings of his music and walked around this. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not. It's a big deal to headline a festival, even one that seems as insanely Coachella seems even worse than Glastonbury in that it exists purely to be a live stream for people to watch at home, and it
Yeah.
seems more geared towards the people at home than it does towards.
Yeah, because I was watching a couple of performances, and like the artist, Rosalia, she was like a lot of the concert she was looking into the camera, and I would find that so annoying to like
I read a
watch.
review specifically of her set where people were talking about that it was she was really, really just about
Yeah,
the
the camera. And I
yeah.
felt really weird because it's like you're there to perform for the people, not out there, and the people at home will just, watch whatever you do. At least in Glastonbury, the cameras are like, just around, and you just watch the concert.
Yeah, and I think she or some other people had like AR effects that you could only see on the stream. You didn't see them on the stage. I think Bad Bunny maybe.
That sounds like an insane festival to go to. Like I
Yeah.
don't like I don't even think you can take alcohol and food on site. Like I
Bad.
think it's just an insane festival just for like photos and just to go like I went to Coachella. It just
The
doesn't
gram.
for the gram, yeah. Well, for the TikTok now.
Did you read Pitchfork's review of Blackpink's performance?
No, was it bad?
Oh, do you want me to read some of it to you?
Yeah, do it.
Korean girl group
Yeah.
Blackpink's headlining set on the Coachella stage was so overwhelming that it seemed less like a concert than a monument to human achievement in stage production. The spectacle started well before the quartet even appeared, beginning with an amuse-bouche of several hundred drones in synchronized flight. They changed colour and shifted shapes in a surreal display, arranging themselves as, among other things, a caterpillar, a butterfly, a paper crane, and some sort of creature, maybe a hippo dressed as an astronaut shooting a laser beam out of its arm. Watching Jenny, Jizzo, Lisa and Rose power through hits like Whistle, Lovesick Girls, Kill This Love and Boom Bio, as well as an interlude of solo tracks, I couldn't help but think about infrastructure rather than the music. About the K-pop machine and the corporate festival machine, and about how when you're watching a performance on massive screens from hundreds of feet back, are you really partaking in a once-in-a-lifetime communal experience versus just sort of standing outside watching TV. But I couldn't get my head around all of it, or anything close to a conclusion, because I couldn't keep a thought going for more than 15 seconds or so. Are you not entertained? Screamed the massive flashing backdrops, the pyrotechnics, the backup dancers, the rhinestones, the costume changes, the streamers and confetti. I looked down at the cheap plastic LED bracelet on my wrist as it flickered different colours in sync with the light show and thought, feebly, yes.
What? Did they like it or not?
They just had an existential crisis, I think. They
Okay.
couldn't focus on the music. I felt that way at lots of concerts. It's not specific to Blackpink. They didn't talk at all in that entire 200-word write-up about Blackpink's performance beyond the fact they had some drones. Very weird.
Yeah.
Typical of Pitchfork.
It wasn't the greatest performance. I've seen them do better, but I don't think anybody in Coachella does a great performance. I think everything, at least what I've seen, just the sound sounds bad and the stage is too big and nobody seems to have a live band or something. Yeah.
Very weird stuff.
It's a very, very strange festival.
So Blonde by Frank Ocean.
Yeah. And my number 2 was No Time for Dreaming by Charles Bradley.
Oh, I remember.
Yeah, it's a great album. But yeah, I still like that album. Just I don't know if I would put in my new top 5. We'll see.
Well, you know if you have or not.
Well, what listeners don't know. And then my number 1, which I love this album, but I thought it was very strange I put it as my number 1. But I guess because it was, maybe it reminded me of spending time with you and Wales and different times where I saw you more often. But my number 1 was Dirty Computer by Janelle Monáe, which I still love that album. However, I guess it was a very nostalgic moment because we hadn't seen each other for a while. And I listened to the album mostly with you, so yeah.
It is a very good album.
Yeah.
She hasn't done another one since.
I know. Another Frank Ocean.
But slightly less time. And she's been performing. She's been acting.
Yes, and she's excellent at doing that.
She is. She's better at acting than Frank Ocean is at designing jewellery.
Okay.
Lovely stuff. My original top 5 albums so it started off with number 5, the album Future Days by German krautrock outfit Can, which
Okay.
is a very good album. I
Yeah.
haven't listened to it since we made that list, and I do like it a lot, but I don't know why. I don't know why I put it on there.
Yeah.
Not sure. Did you? I think you listened to it off the back of that.
I guess
Maybe. Yeah. Anyway, number 4, more controversially, the original Broadway cast recording of Hamilton.
Ah, yeah. Remember that.
Again, I still really like it. I've got tickets to see it actually when it comes to Manchester.
What? Amazing. Are you excited?
I'm excited.
Good. I'm excited for you. I hope you have a great time listening
So
to the
do I.
worst musical ever made.
That's ridiculous. Not when cats exist. You can't say that.
Well, no. Cats is a bad film. That doesn't mean it's a bad musical.
Well, the music. I didn't like the music.
I don't like
listened to it.
musicals anyway, so I don't.
So yeah, Hamilton.
Yeah.
Which I do like the album a lot, but it's not on my. Number 3 was the same as you, Frank Ocean's Blonde,
Yep.
which we've talked about at length. Number 2, an album that I can guarantee you will not be on my list now. My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy by Kanye West.
Yeah.
Yikes. I mean, that album is still a masterpiece. It's tough, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I can't with him anymore.
Even though he's changed his political views, are you sure?
Changed political views because he watched the film 21 Jump Street.
Yeah.
And Jonah Hill convinced him that all Jewish people were okay, which is not as bad, but it's problematic. It's still problematic.
Oh, it's really
'Cause,
problematic.
Again, Jonah Hill does not stand for all Jewish people.
Yeah.
In the same way that whatever Jewish person wronged him in the past, he seemed to think stood like his insistence on conflating an individual as being a representative of their entire culture or religious background or whatever it is madness, and whether it's for positive or negative reasons, it's not okay, and he should shut up and stop. So I hate you, Kanye West.
Yep.
And as a result, because I hate Kanye West, I hate all rappers.
Really?
Because he represents them, doesn't he?
Well, he represents all the rappers.
Yeah, he's a rapper, so he does all the raps. No, that's obviously not true. I love lots of rappers. Who's my favourite rapper at the moment? Probably Tyler, the Creator.
Tyler, the Creator.
Tyler, the
He
Creator.
was at Coachella. I didn't see his set, though.
Was it Coachella?
I think so.
Sure. I like him. He's great. Number 1 was, again, a very great album that's important to me. But I don't quite know why I put it in my number 1 spot. The Holy Bible by Manic Street Preachers. So yeah, 2 lists that I think surprised us when we looked back at them.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's better to change rather than be always the same.
I'd agree. So, what are our current top 5 albums? What's your... Oh. Alex has left. I'm by myself, talking to myself. That's Chaos Theory. Will she come back?
Sorry.
You're back!
By mistake, I completely cut you off.
Good
I was
stuff.
like, I've had enough of this shit. I've had enough of you.
What did you... Okay. I'm confused. Right, what were we talking about? What's your 5th favourite album of all time now?
5th favourite album of all time. I've got a couple that are the same as before, but I put them a little bit lower.
Okay.
So my 5th album of favourite album of all time is OK Computer by Radiohead.
Okay.
I'm keeping that.
You keep it.
I'm keeping it.
Why are you keeping it?
Because it's wonderful, and every time I listen to it, I'm happy about listening to it, and I think it's great, and it's a great album. I don't think Radiohead have changed and become villains. I think they even become better. I think they become better and better every day.
Yeah, they've almost gone though. They've sort of gone.
Yeah, but they'll come back. They'll always be there in the background somewhere.
Yeah, Yeah, but now the Smile. Have you listened to the Smile?
No.
Oh, neither have I actually. But do you know what the Smile is?
No.
It's Johnny Greenwood and Tom York's new band with a drummer, a jazz drummer from a jazz band called Sons of Kemet that people like a lot. They're meant to be very good. The Smile. They put out an album last year that I haven't listened to properly yet. But yeah, you should check it out, and so should I. Now we can talk about it.
I will.
Yeah, good. I don't know what it is about Radiohead. I do still really love them, but I don't get the feeling to listen to them so much anymore. I sort of veer towards other bands that I've grown to love more recently.
Yeah.
But it's a strong choice. Do you want to know my number 5 album ever?
What is it?
What?
What is it?
Good God. It's an album that has been released post our last list.
Oh.
Yeah. An album that caused such high levels of excitement and surprise during the pandemic. An album that is close to me in some ways because of that, because it was it was something to do. It provided something to do and something to be interested in, something to discuss in some months when there was nothing to do and nothing to be interested in and nothing to talk about other than how rubbish everything was.
Yeah.
And it's the album Folklore by Taylor Swift.
Wow. Great.
I love Taylor Swift now. I love her so much.
So much. I would love to go and see her live.
Her tour.
I can't afford it. I can't deal with the people. I just like to see her in front of me and sing for me. Even just one song is fine.
Yeah, I agree. She's on tour in America at the moment, and supposedly she's going to do the UK. So
will you go?
Yeah, I'd do anything to go. But yeah, obviously, that album is particularly special to me because the Aaron Dessner from The National.
Oh my God, Aaron Dessner from The National
recorded it, wrote it, made it with Taylor Swift, and it's pushed one of my other favourite bands, The National. Probably my favourite band overall is The National. It's pushed them into a massive spotlight. It's getting them a lot more notice and recognition. The Dessner brothers have worked with a bunch of pop artists now, especially Aaron Dessner, and he's written an album with Ed Sheeran that's coming out that just sounds like Ed Sheeran music to me, so I'm not going to listen to it really. But I like to see them getting the recognition and mainstream success off the back of this collaboration with Taylor Swift. They have in less than a week they're releasing their latest album, First Two Pages of Frankenstein.
Yes.
The singles for which have grown on me massively and I really like, especially there's a song on it called Eucalyptus I'm so excited to see live one day. And there's a song on that album that features Taylor Swift that they wrote together, and I read an interview with Aaron Dessner this week where he said he was really nervous to send her the song. He didn't want her to feel pressured that now she has to collaborate with them just because they collaborated with her. And before, like an hour passed after he sent her the song, and he started to write her a message saying sorry for sending that to you out of embarrassment, and she had just sent him back the return song and she'd already written it in like that hour, and I'm excited to hear it. So yeah, I am a big fan of that album and I'm a big fan of Taylor Swift, and yeah,
she's amazing
stuff.
I
What's
agree.
your number? Yeah, thank you. What's your number 4?
My number 4 is an album that was my number 3 and is Blonde by Frank Ocean.
Nice.
That is an incredible album, so I kept these two.
That's fair. It is an incredible album. Will he do another incredible album?
I don't know. Probably not. Well, I don't know. Like, I feel like this is a person that clearly is having some artistic issues.
He said at Coachella that he's not there to promote a new album.
Yeah.
But then said, but not that there isn't a new album. Maybe there's a new album.
Oh, okay.
So maybe there's a new album. But who knows if it'll be good. Because he's put out a couple of singles, not that recently now, but in the years since Blonde, he's put out 1 or 2 songs. And I don't think they were particularly anything.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, he does seem like an artist that's casting around for something to inspire him. And hopefully he finds it.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see. That's your number 3. Was that? No, that was your number 4.
Number 4. What's your number 4?
My number 4 is in some ways linked to my number 5 because it is an album by The National.
Oh.
Which is a weird, because The National are my favourite band
Mm.
by any metric, particularly by the metric of the fact that I record every song I listen to, and The National of at the top of the list of songs I've listened to, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And yet there doesn't tend to be, like, they're my favourite band, so you'd think that my favourite album would be an album by The National, but they tend to be very consistently incredible just across every album they've done, and it makes it difficult for me to ever pick out one album and say, that's it, that's the album that I love, if you see what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, I love songs and pieces across the whole works. But I've gone with an album called Trouble Will Find Me. It is their 5th album, I think, or 6th album. Let me check, 5th or 6th album. And it has some of their best and biggest songs on it, such as Don't Swallow the Cap and Demons and I Should Live in Salt, and what other songs are on there? I Need My Girl is on there. It's their 6th studio album, yeah. Graceless, Sea of Love. It's an incredible album. And it's particularly important to me, I remember it because it came out in 2013, which is when I was nearing the end of my time teaching in Sheffield. I used to travel between Manchester and Sheffield quite often on the train, and I remember a couple of really eventful train journeys, not eventful train journeys, memorable train journeys, where I would listen to that album and watch the British countryside go by, knowing that soon I was not going to see much of it anymore because I was moving away to the other side of the world.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a pretty. It brings me back to that kind of period of my life of being excited about new beginnings and things like that, and it's a beautiful, wonderful album. So yeah, Trouble Will Find Me by The National. Big fan of that album.
Nice.
What's your 3rd album?
My 3rd album is a new entry, and an album that without you I would have not listened to, and is the 2022 album by SZA, SOS.
Oh wow!
Yes.
Really?
I love it.
Really?
I can't
Number
stop
3?
listening to it. There's something about that album that is so good.
Yeah, I mean it is a good album.
Yeah,
I agree.
yeah, and since you told me to listen to it, I've been like on and off listening to new stuff, but I keep going back to that.
It is an amazing album. I didn't realise you had connected with it that much. But
I love it.
I agree. I like it.
Yeah, it's so good. And I didn't think I was going to connect. I just listened to it. And I was,
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, brilliant. Well done. That is a very recent album.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because I only listened to it, I think, in January you told me to listen to it, I think. Yeah. But I think I'm going to like it for a long time.
Yeah. I would agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, she just announced tour dates in the UK actually, but I didn't too many things in the world to do, so I didn't try for that one.
When is she coming to the UK?
In like June. I think.
Okay.
Yeah. Too soon, too much expense. But I would love to see her live, it'd be great. But I'm holding out for Taylor Swift now, so save myself for that. Nice. Well, my 3rd album, my number 3 album, is another album that sort of we've talked about together a lot. And again has been released since we last did this list, and one that just I think is back to front perfect. Every track is incredible. It's a monumental achievement for an artist that will go on to hopefully have many more monumental achievements. It's the album Prioritize Pleasure by Self Esteem.
Of course. Of course. I've got it too.
Good. I thought you would have.
Yeah.
And particularly after seeing her, I saw her, a month or so ago now, I saw her live in Manchester at the Albert Hall in Manchester, and she performed broadly the entire album,
Ugh.
minus one or two tracks, and it's just incredible watching her do Wizardry live. It was so much fun. She controlled the stage.
Yeah.
It was a full on pop show, and the only real like stagecraft she had was she had this set of stairs that she kind of used on the stage, climbed up and down them and things, and she had 3 dancers and a band that was like a guy on keyboards and also guitar, a guy on drums, and a third guy that might have been also on guitar. And one of her dancers at one point wasn't well and had to leave the stage, and it didn't change. It was fine because the other two just held it all, and it was just great. It was amazing. It was an amazing performance, and it just kind of really cemented in my head. Similar to actually last week, I was really lucky to see Paramore live. In Manchester. Yeah, and they did a bunch of songs off their new album, which I liked, but I hadn't really fully connected with. But the songs came alive massively when they performed them live. And that Paramore album, This Is Why, their new one, is now like, I've been listening to it this week, and it kind of connects with me so much more now that I've heard it live. And the same is true of Paradise Pleasure. It's a masterpiece. I love it.
It is a masterpiece. It's so good.
So very good. So yeah, that's my number 3 favourite album of all time.
Nice.
How about you?
My number 2. So Culture Back of Our Lives made me visit music that I used to listen to, and I realized how much I love this artist and how much I've loved her for years, and how much this album kind of introduced me to her incredible artistry, and it's Björk debut.
Wow, debut by Björk.
Yeah,
you did put a lot of Björk albums on that.
Yeah, and I was like, how on earth did I not put Björk in my top 5 the first time? Like,
that's fair.
And so, listening to all of them, like, I just love debut. I just think there's so much character in that album and so much. Yeah,
that's interesting. It's hard to pick it because I'd probably go with Post, but
yes, well, that's an incredible album too. But I think debut is the one that I kind of, is the first one I listened.
Yeah,
and it's the, I don't know, good memories.
She also had some Coachella controversy this weekend.
Did she?
Yeah, not as much as Frank.
Yeah. Frank.
He ruled the controversy, but I think she was headlining like a second stage or something at the same time as Frank Ocean, and she was notably, like Frank Ocean, one of the very few performers to not allow her set to be streamed over YouTube, which caused some upset from some people. But I don't know, whatever. I don't care. Björk's fine.
Yeah, she's fine. Yeah.
I would love to see her live one day.
Yeah, she's coming to Bologna, but I didn't buy tickets because I'm not good with live concerts.
Fair dues. But yeah, good choice with Björk.
Yeah,
I like it. So my number 2 is a band that I've talked about a lot on this podcast that I have loved for a few years now, and I was thinking recently about how it was actually after I saw Self-Esteem, and I was like, man, there's really been a handful of albums that have come out in the last 5 years or so, or five to sort of 8 years or so, that are just like these huge, important albums to me that kind of sit on pedestals, and like Prioritised Pleasure's become one, Folklore's become one, and this album's become one. Because again, I found it at the right time, and the messages in the album really connected with me at a point where, again, similar to the Trouble with Finding by National, where I was going through some degree of change. It's the album Joy as an Act of Resistance by Idols.
Nice.
Yeah. Just fell in love with this album from the first time I heard it. All of the songs seem to be about topics that I find interesting, and Joe Talbot, the singer, takes stances that I tend to fully agree with on each and every song, and it just felt like somebody had taken me and spread it into an album. And yeah, I love it. I love Joy as an Act of Resistance. I I love Crawler as well. We talked about that
Yeah.
for an entire episode. I love Brutalism, their first album. Ultramono, their third album, is an interesting one now with a couple of years removed from it. But it's still a big fan. But yeah,
Yeah.
Joy's Natural Resistance is so good.
Yeah, I agree.
And it's been a while now. I think we're due another Idols album at some point soon. I hope.
Yeah, that'd be
They've
wonderful.
been quiet for a little bit, so I
Yeah.
assume they're doing
And there's a
something.
lot of material to talk about now, isn't there?
Yeah,
Yeah.
there is. Yeah, what's your number one? What's your favourite album ever now?
Number one is Prioritize Pressure by Self Esteem. Incredible, amazing, exactly the perfect album. It's just an amazing album. And I love it. I love her. I love what she stands for. I love her songs. I what they say, her message. The clip that you sent me from the gig you went to see, I just wish I was there. Yeah, she's amazing. I think maybe I would go to a concert for her. I know.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an incredible. I was actually thinking, and I was thinking about after I saw her about how that album seems to be about the what it's like to be a woman in 2020 in the current world.
Yeah.
And approaching feminism and femininity and being a sort of powerful woman.
Yeah.
Almost to a mirror of how Joy's an Act of Resistance, the Idols album, is a lot of it is about what it is to be a man in the current world and approaching masculinity and toxic masculinity and what's expected of men and how challenging that can be in its own way. I just thought it was interesting those two albums sort of, to me, kind of complete each other in some ways. They kind of form a complete picture of modern life.
Yeah.
Not entirely complete, but you can take a lot. If you listen to those two albums, you would understand a fair amount about what it is to be a human being today, I think.
Yeah. Definitely.
Good. Yeah, I agree. I'm glad that we both love that album because it's the absolute best. My number one album is one that helped me survive the pandemic even more so than Folklore's Taylor Swift, one that I listened to just on repeat for days and days. In the album is Punisher by Phoebe Bridgers.
Of course.
Yeah, I think that's my number one now for a good long while.
For a very long time.
Yeah, because I think when I put The Holy Bible by Manic Street Preachers as my number one last time, I think I was sort of casting around for one that seemed to connect. But Punisher has been a big connection. And when I saw her live last year, she performed maybe the entire album, front to back, and it was an emotional evening, and I absolutely love her. And yeah, Boy Genius is that new Boy Genius record, by the way. Great album.
I still have to get into it. Really,
It's good.
I'm not getting into it. Like, I've listened to it about 3 times, and I'm just trying to appreciate it. I want to, and I will, but it's taking me time.
Yeah, fair enough. There's a lot going on in it for how relatively short it is.
Like, I'm feeling a little bit detached from it. I can't relate to it. I don't feel. I don't know, but I will get into it. I will carry on. I love those. I love them. But
did you see them on Jimmy Kimmel?
No, I haven't.
Do you want to do a quick MyTube?
Before we go to our next list.
Let's split up with a little bit of MyTube, thematically appropriate due to Phoebe Bridgers.
Yeah.
This might make you more excited for them. I don't know. We'll see.
Maybe.
I don't know why.
I don't know why I run away.
But for whatever reason, Jimmy Kimmel is the one late night talk show host in America that I kind of have time for. I don't know what endears me to him.
Oh my! Like, we couldn't be the most different people. I think I don't particularly enjoy his show.
I mean, I've never watched too much of his show, but I like him much more than.
How weird! But like, we couldn't. It's just totally different. The ones I love, you hate, and the ones I like, you hate, and the like hate.
Fair play. Right, do you want to see?
Yeah, please.
Let's go. So this is Boy Genius performing Not Strong Enough on Jimmy Kimmel Live.
Their album is called The Record. Here are the song Not Strong Enough, Boy Genius.
You hear it okay?
Yeah.
There they are.
No.
No!
Phoebe. I like this song actually.
It's a good song.
Yeah.
I love their harmonies just... Oh. And I know I talk a lot about Phoebe Bridgers, but I think all three of them are pretty incredible.
Yeah.
I saw Julian Baker live last year, and she's for someone who's quite petite, she has a huge voice.
Yeah.
And there's the refrain at the end of this song, the repeated refrain, I really like as well.
Yeah, I just have to get into the album. I don't know what it is. I
think the first couple of times you listen to it can feel a bit like three different voices sort of competing. Because it is like some of it seems quite slow, and I think once you get into it and listen to the lyrics more, it just sort of opens up. I don't know.
I love her voice. She's very different from the others.
Yeah, she is.
And I think they kind of like, complement each other.
They really do. She's the one that I've had the least sort of experience with, but I saw her at a festival and she was very good. I want to listen to her albums more.
Yeah.
She's meant to be a very good storyteller.
I wonder why they decided to reunite and...
Apparently, just after Phoebe Bridgers released Punisher, she emailed the other two and said, can we be a band again? And then that sort of started the ball rolling for them getting back together. I think all three of them wanted to do it again, but were nervous that the other two didn't want to. I think when they realised they all wanted to, they sort of... That's what I've read from interviews anyway.
That's amazing, actually.
Yeah, I do wonder if once the cycle for this album's done, whether they'll carry on doing stuff together or if they'll go back to solo stuff for a while, I don't know.
Yeah, but it'd be good if they carry on doing it sporadically.
Yeah, I agree. I think they will. I don't think they'll just have this be their only work together, because they seem to genuinely really enjoy working together and spending time together. I've read a few interviews with them as a group, and they've talked about how they connected over books, but having a similar interest in books.
Yeah.
And I can't remember. I think Julian or Phoebe have a bookshelf in their house now with just books on for Lucy Dacus to read when she goes around, something like that.
Oh.
I don't know. They seem really, really connected and happy and lovely and well done.
Yeah,
They're
that's
good.
why I want to like this album, and I'm going to like this album. I'm going to force myself to like this album.
Well, I hope you do. You should listen to Cool About It. There's a song called Cool About It, which sounds just like a Simon and Garfunkel song that I've really gotten into.
Yeah.
And Satanist is really good. Yeah, I like
Yeah.
the album. It's a good
Well,
album.
I guess I also was trying to like make myself like the Miley Cyrus album, so I listened to it on
Oh, yeah.
repeat, so I would enjoy it, and now I actually love it.
I need to do that with the Miley Cyrus album still.
Yeah,
I
because
will.
it's so different.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, it took me a long time to enjoy it, and I'll do that the same. This week I'll just do like a obsessive listen to Boy Genius's album.
Love it. Fair
Yeah.
play. Okay, let's talk about films then.
Yeah, should we do the top 5 to 1 first?
Yeah, do you want me to go
Then-
first this time? Swap it round?
No, I mean, do you wanna do the rundown 5 to 1 of the songs and then of the albums?
Oh, of the original. Sorry, yes. Go on then, you go.
Number 5, OK Computer, Radiohead. Number 4, A Blonde, Frank Ocean. Number 3, SOS, Scissor. Number 2, Debut by Bjork. And number 1, Paradise Pleasure by Self Esteem.
Nice. I've gone with, like last time, we both have one album the same.
Yeah.
It's interesting. So number 5, I've gone with Folklore by Taylor Swift. Number 4, Trouble Will Find Me, The National. Number 3, Prioritise Pleasure by Self Esteem. Number 2, Joy is an Act of Resistance by Idols. And number 1, Punisher, Phoebe Bridgers.
Yes, perfect.
Perfect. Do you want to be reminded of my top 5 films from 2020?
Ah, yes.
So number 5, I went with Midsummer.
Yes,
Yes.
good choice.
Good choice, which you've watched since. Yeah, I mean, I hold that up as still being an incredible album. Film. I'm talking about films now.
Yeah.
Films.
Yeah.
And what I was going to say to you before is, have you seen that his new one is out in America now?
Yeah,
Afraid.
and people are confused.
People are very confused. It sounds like a film that you either will hate it,
Yeah,
or be like, I didn't enjoy it, but well done. It doesn't
Yeah.
sound like you're ever going to be like, I love that movie. That movie's
Yeah.
great. I watch that movie any day of the week. Apparently, it's pretty disturbing and unpleasant. And I can't wait to see it because I really want to know what it is. And it's 3 hours long, and man, it's out in like late May here, so I've still got a bit of a wait on me before I get to see it. But I can't wait to see it. But I don't think, and also like Hereditary is like a possession movie, a kind of a demonic possession film. Yes, please, I'm all in on films like that. Midsummer is a folk horror movie, and that's even more my thing. Beau's Afraid, I don't even know what category you'd put it in, but it's certainly not like it's not within my wheelhouse to automatically like it. So I really want to see Ari Aster's new movie, but I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway,
yeah. By the way, these are 5 English-speaking films. We haven't included any international films because if
That is
not,
true.
I would have a lot of Japanese films on my list.
that's true. So number 4, I went back then was Nuts in May. Lee's, BBC TV film about camping. And my new list still has a BBC TV movie in it, but it's not Nuts in May. It's even older than Nuts in May, actually. Nuts in May is brilliant. I still wish you'd watch it and see it, but I don't think you will.
Nope.
But it is a very funny film. Number 3 was The Big Lebowski, which we talked at length about before. Number 2 is Cloud Atlas.
Yes.
Which I still really like Cloud Atlas, but I don't know why I put it as my second favourite film ever. Yeah, it was an odd pick. I love the ambition of that movie, but it's I've not watched it since. And number 1 was Jurassic Park, which I talk about Jurassic Park a lot. I love that movie.
And if that
love
hasn't
Jurassic
changed, I
Park.
won't be surprised because it is the best.
Yeah, man. What were your top 5 films like that?
I don't know if I was having. They're good films, but I don't know. My number 5 was The Blues Brothers. Just
It's a great film.
Still love the film. But is it one of my top 5? Yeah, it's a great film. Number 4, 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. Great film. Number 3, The Big Lebowski. Like you. My number 2 was The Royal Tenenbaums, Wes Anderson at his best. My first Wes Anderson experience. And my number 1 was Little Women, which I still love that film. It's so good. I watched it again the other day. I cried like a baby again.
Did you really? Well, I guess we'll have to wait and see if it's still your number 1.
Yes.
I mean, Little Women is very, very good.
So good.
And we're still eagerly awaiting the follow-up, Barbie.
Yeah, exciting.
Maybe Barbie will be your favourite film of all time one day.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, okay, good stuff. Right, do you want to know what my 5th favourite movie of all time is today?
Yes, please.
Well, I'll tell you, it's quite a recent film. It's the most recent film on my list.
Yeah.
It's from 2022. And in a few years, maybe I'll be like, did I really put that as my number 1? But at the moment, it has such a strong, powerful place in my heart that I can't do anything other than adore it and promote it as much as I can, whenever I can. It is After Sun.
Great. Of course it is. I knew you were going to put it somewhere. I think that film really, really kind of moved you in different places.
It really affected me in a big way, and it affects me every time I think about it and think through it, and I've watched it since. I just love it. I just think it's perfect. Paul Mescal is incredible in it. Frankie Corio is incredible in it. And Charlotte Wells, I can't wait to see what she makes next, but she's made one of my favourite things ever. I absolutely adore it. So even though it's quite new, maybe there's some recency bias going on, which also might be true of my number 4 pick. It really strongly affected me, and I adore it. Great. I adore it. After Sun.
Nice.
Thank you. What's your number 5?
My number 5, I can't believe I didn't put it on my list before. I must have been having a moment. This film I watched, I think, last year again, and I sang all the song, knew everything. I've watched it so many times, and it's just one of... I had the soundtrack. I just love this film so much, and I was like, I can't believe it's not in my top 5. And it's Quentin Tarantino's Jackie Brown.
Ah, okay.
I adore that film. And
Jackie B.
Yeah, I just love everything about it, and I love the soundtrack, and it's an incredible film. So
I haven't seen it since I was a teenager.
Yeah,
I should watch it again.
Yeah, because I watched it like I said, like last year, a few months ago, and I was just so kind of like giddy watching it. I just love it, and so it's a great film.
I know.
Great soundtrack.
Is it quite long? Is it like 2.5 hours?
Yeah, it's quite long, and there's a lot of stuff happening and different kind of like. It gets a little bit, overwhelming at points when Robert De Niro is just kind of crazy, and but yeah, it's good. Yeah,
fair play. I'm gonna try and watch it again. I always want to watch it again, but I don't because of how long it is. But
yeah, you should.
So that's Jackie Brown.
Yes.
Your number 5. My number 4 is quite recent, not as recent as After Sun. It's from 2019. And again, it's one that I've watched. I watched it for the first time this year. And I've watched it 3 times since. Including the first time I watched it, I've watched it 3 times, and I love it. And I could watch it over and over again. I think that the filmmaking behind it is amazing. It's the film Bait.
Bait, the one you made me watch.
Yes, I made you watch it quite recently.
Yeah, it's of course. This film is legendary. It is the way he's done it, the way he managed to do a film like that in 2019. I think it's just amazing,
Yeah.
And
But I think that
you know, it's I don't know. It's just something. It's innovation going. Well, not innovation. Just trying something different with film, which I don't think people try anymore. Maybe.
yeah, exactly. I love that about it, but I also love that it work like it doesn't just it's good as well as that. It just works on its own merits as a movie. I love the way it plays with chronology and presents events out of time and presents some events out of time in terms of like it shows you something at the very beginning that you see at the end with more context.
Yeah.
But it also throughout the entire film it presents you with really quick moments like some glass shattering or some other things that when once you have context for them and you watch the film again and you see when he puts these moments in, maybe through moments of stress and drama, you kind of see how it all ties together. I love how there's a character that is effectively meant to be a ghost, but isn't, presented as such.
No.
Because isn't really a ghost, is more sort of like the memory of someone haunting the characters internally.
Yeah.
But within the movie, they're just presented as being there on the screen. It works on so many levels in terms of like the filmmaking, but also the film itself. I think is great. I think that like you can talk for so long about how masterful Mark Jenkins is as a filmmaker, but someone like Edward Rowe, who's not a famous, well-known actor, puts in an amazing performance as Martin.
100%.
And yeah, I absolutely love it. I also loved his second movie, Ennis Main, which I've only seen once in the cinema. I'm excited for that to come out on streaming or somewhere so I can watch it again and kind of have a better idea of how I feel it compares to Bait. But at the moment, Bait is my fourth favourite film of all time.
Nice.
Nice indeed. What's yours?
Mine hasn't it's just went down one, but I've my number 4 is The Big Lebowski.
Nice.
Yes. That is just, I don't think that will ever be removed. I love that film. I love everything about it, and it's just one of the funniest films and ridiculous films ever made. Just it's iconic.
It is. It is iconic though. It's one of the biggest cult films of all time for sure.
Yeah.
Will you ever watch the semi-sequel?
The semi-sequel?
Well, that John Turturro made about his character of the Jesus.
I was meant to watch it, but I keep forgetting it exists.
I think the world forgot that it exists. It's not meant to be great.
Oh, maybe we should watch it.
I don't want to watch it.
Well, George is coming to visit me in Italy soon-ish.
I think there were better things we could...
But we could, like, watch that and talk about it.
Yeah, maybe. I don't think you'd like... Well, maybe. We'll see. My number 3 is it's from 1968. It's in black and white.
Yeah.
It's a British BBC television drama adaptation of a ghost story.
Oh.
And I maybe I'm stretching the definition of film because it's about 50 minutes long.
Okay.
But it's the scariest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Okay.
By a distance. Despite being a black and white BBC adaptation with no special effects budget. And I think it's a masterpiece in setting tone and atmosphere. And also being just the right side of strange to really stick with you and feel memorable. It's called Whistle and I'll Come to You.
Oh. And
it's based on a ghost story by M.R. James called A Whistle and I'll Come to You, My Lad. And it was actually made as part of it's fascinating, in my opinion. It was made as part of a documentary series called Omnibus that was on the BBC in the 60s. And normally it was just documentaries about different artists and artworks and things. And they didn't do dramatizations of things traditionally, but for whatever reason they decided to make an adaptation of this this story, and it opens with like a narrator just explaining to you what you're about to see, and that's a relic of the fact it was made as part of this documentary strand despite not being a documentary, and that again adds to the sort of unsettling, odd, surreal nature of the whole thing. And was so successful, it led to what became a kind of, what is still to this day in a lot of ways, a British tradition of ghost stories for Christmas, where the BBC would adapt M.R. James ghost stories or other similar ghost stories and put them on TV on Christmas Eve as like a spooky, festive treat. And it all started with this one, Whistle I'll Come to You, and it stars Michael Hordern as Professor Parkin. Michael Hordern, who I know best as playing, I think, Badger in A Wind in the Willows. I think that's what he played. Anyway, yeah, it's incredible. It's an incredible thing. I absolutely love it, and I am, yeah, it doesn't it you have to see it to understand why.
Okay.
But you know, I saw the new Evil Dead film at the weekend.
Okay.
And loved it. I'm so happy that it's good. It's absolutely incredible. But it didn't scare me. Like, horror movies, blood and gore and violence and like big Hollywood horror movies now, or even like smaller budget horror movies, none of them managed to muster up atmosphere in the way that Whistle I'll Come to You did in 1968, and I think it's an incredible achievement. So yeah, I love that film. And I've decided it's my third favourite of all time.
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Thank you.
Nice.
What's your number 3?
My number 3. I had to put a Wes Anderson film because I love him and I love whatever he does, and I'm very excited about the new one that is going to come out, which is called Asteroid City.
Yeah, have you seen the trailer?
I have seen the trailer. I couldn't wait for you, and oh my god, I already love it.
Yeah, it looks pretty good, doesn't
I already love it. I'm happy with that. Yeah, 10 out of 10. And I put, it's always been the Royal Tenenbaum, but I feel now, you know, rewatching them, I think my number 3 has changed, and my number 3 is Moonrise Kingdom.
Wow.
Yeah, because
I was mentally, emotionally preparing for you to say the Darjeeling Limited then.
no, I was yeah. See, I think that's why we're ever changing, because I think I love the Darjeeling Limited, but because I watched it in a different time, and I watched it, you know, I traveled to India and then I watched Darjeeling Limited, and it kind of put this kind of like fairy kind of beautiful thing. I still love the Darjeeling Limited. It's still one of my favorites. Well, I love them all. But I feel like I can relate more to Moonrise Kingdom now. I don't know, maybe because I'm a primary school teacher. And I don't know, I just find it lovely and adorable and funny. And yeah, so my number 3 is Moonrise Kingdom.
It's incredible.
It's such a good film.
I agree, yeah.
And just the aesthetics of it, and I always say it, but I just love the tents, and when he escapes and he just made a little hole in the tent. I just love it, and I just love the pure love that these two kids feel for each other, and it's just a wonderful film. And
do you think Taika Waititi took a lot of inspiration from Moonrise Kingdom when he was making Jojo Rabbit? Because I find the scenes in the camp in Jojo Rabbit early on with Sam Rockwell and stuff, I find the way they're shot really reminds me of Moonrise Kingdom.
Maybe, yeah, they're creating, yeah, maybe. But whatever Wes Anderson does, nobody else does.
No, I know that's true.
And I really can't wait to watch Asteroid City. Is it coming out at the cinema, or is it going to go straight to streaming on Disney Plus?
No, I'm pretty sure it's coming out in the cinema first.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that, Asteroid City, and it's a good pick for your top 5 films. I like Moonrise Kingdom a lot. My number 2 favourite film of all time, which this movie I really do adore and love, and I almost made it my number 1, but didn't in the end, is a film from 1974. It's one that me and you have watched together, and a film that every year that goes by kind of increases how important this movie is to me. It is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah. Is that how he does at the end?
Yeah, it is
with
what
his
he does
chainsaw.
at the end.
Well, you listeners, you can't see me, but I just put my hands in the air and went pretending.
But that's
I
it.
had a
I put it in
chainsaw.
my top 5 famous shots of all time because of that moment at the end where he's spinning around with the chainsaw and screaming and yelling, and man, I'm a big fan of that movie. And I'm trying to remember, it was actually in, what did I watch recently? Was it that or that? I watched something recently where the end to that movie was playing on a TV screen. It might have been the Guy Ritchie movie Operation Fortune Ruse de Guerre, which is a dog turd of a film. Rubbish, awful
Is it?
movie.
Oh,
It's
why?
so
Guy
bad.
Ritchie used to be so good.
Yeah, he did, and maybe he will be again. But that, because what's he making? He's making the Hercules film of all films, the remake for Disney. But yeah, Operation Fortune Ruse de Guerre got dumped unceremoniously on Amazon Prime Video, and I watched it recently, and it's just awful. But I think it's got a brief shot of the ending of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and it's either that or Bull. Bull is a masterpiece of a film, but I don't think it's Bull. Yeah. Anyway, point being, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, huge influence on horror cinema. It came out in 1974. Pre-Halloween, pre-Friday the 13th, pre-Scream. Scream. I almost put Scream as my number 2 because I do love Scream as well, but I went for this in the end instead. Pre all of those things, and the fact that Toby Hooper thought he was making a comedy that was going to be like PG rated, and went to great lengths to not show blood and violence on screen. But despite that, managed to still make one of the most horrifying and unpleasant experiences ever made. Is incredible, and they've never been able to recapture it. The Netflix reboot from last year was a truly abhorrent piece of nonsense. But yeah, the original is just about perfect. Yeah, I love the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. What's your number 2?
My number 2 is a 2016 film called Moonlight.
Oh, okay, yeah, Moonlight.
I love this film. It came out the same year as La La Land, and everybody was talking about La La Land, and I absolutely hated La La Land with a passion. Even when I see clips now, I'm like, I hate that film. But Moonlight, that came out the same year, should have had the praise that La La Land had. And it did, because it won Best Picture, I think. But then,
It did.
they read the wrong one. And I just love how this film just follows this boy and Chiron, and shows his, from child adolescence to adult, and him trying to kind of navigate everything, but he does it in such a beautiful way, and it's just such an incredible film, and upsetting and beautiful to watch, and the performances are amazing, and it's just so good. Moonlight. And I think this might be a constant. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know, but I really, really like this film.
Yeah. It pops up on various lists that you do a lot.
Yeah.
So,
Have you managed to watch it?
yeah, you made me. I've seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. I can see how good it is.
Mm.
It's probably a little bit too much of a straight drama.
Yeah.
To have like a lasting impact on me in terms of like my favorite movies and stuff. But I recognize how incredible it is, and the achievement of making it, and how great it is. It's end up despite all the annoyance of various things, it ended up succeeding massively and winning the big prize and stuff like that. And Mahershala Ali has gone on to be
amazing,
a pretty big voice in Hollywood off the back of that. And yeah, good times all around for Green.
Mahershala Ali.
Green Book. Then that's not the same thing. Moonlight.
Yeah, it's amazing how Mahershala Ali did Green Book, and then this is just like, okay. Yeah. He's such an incredible actor.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I haven't seen Green Book.
No.
No. I don't want to see Green Book.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's a bit, Yeah. The thing is, Mahershala Ali is in it, and it's wonderful. And Viggo Mortensen is in it. So, it's a good cast. Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, it just seems like a movie that has a message that was relevant in maybe... Well, I mean, racism still exists, obviously. It just... The idea of, like, if black and white people just spent some time together, they'd see that they're really just the same. We're past that, are we not? It just feels like that message has been out there, and we need to move past that message into like just stop being a terrible.
Yeah,
people.
yeah. Stop being a terrible person.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Moonlight is amazing and lovely.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
It's good. So, right, my number one film. I'm not gonna mince around. No, sorry, I don't mean that. I'm not gonna mince words. I'm not gonna mince words. It's Jurassic Park still.
of course.
It's the absolute best film ever made. I almost put it off the list. I was almost like, I just need to do a refresh.
No.
And I made a list that had still Midsummer at number 5, I think, and then Texas at number 1. And then I was like, no, what are you doing? No, Jurassic Park. So yeah, Jurassic Park's my favourite film of all time. It's a perfect masterpiece of blockbuster entertainment. And keep going forever. Jurassic Park. They're doing a blooming... They're doing a thing at the Manchester Arena at the end of the year for the 30th anniversary of it, where they're playing the movie on big screen and there's an orchestra doing John Williams' score. I'm not going to go, but
you should.
Man, it's cool. No, I'm going to enough. I'm going to plenty of things. They need to stop doing entertainment for a bit, so that. Anyway, would you like to tell me what your number one favourite film of all time is?
My number one favorite film of all time is The Worst Person in the World.
Wow.
Yeah. I love that film. I feel like no other film has spoken to me as that film.
I mean, we did. I'm not going to... It's all good. That film isn't in English.
Okay. Oh,
but it's fine. I don't...
Shite. Let me just... Oh, no.
It doesn't matter.
It is not in English, but I love it.
If you love it, if it has a big... that place in your heart...
I should take it off.
Don't take it off. It's fine.
I can't believe... I completely... I was like, yeah, it's amazing. And it's like Norwegian and whatever. Is it Norwegian?
I think so.
Yeah. Is it Oslo? Oslo is in Norway. Yeah.
I mean, we didn't discuss this before. It was.
Yeah, but I took off some Japanese things like because I can't. For some reason, The Worst Person in the World. I was like, well, yeah, it's fine. I can take it off.
No, don't take it off.
No, I'm gonna keep it. I'm sorry, it's the best film.
Yeah, that's fine.
It
transcends all barriers, as do the Japanese movies you love. But let's not worry too much.
I just love this film, and I went off.
I love the scene where everyone freezes and she runs through the town.
Yes, that's amazing, and it's just. So
and I love the scene at the party where she connects with that guy. And I don't remember what else happens, but that scene early on at the part where she goes to that party and meets the guy.
Yeah,
and they're both kind of unpleasant to each other, but
and then they form a connection, and then she moves. I think it's just amazing film.
And he makes that horrible comic book. He's like, it's a good film.
Oh, it's such a good film. And I know I went off, but, that's it. I couldn't think of anything else. So, yeah, The Worst Person in the World. If you haven't watched it, you need to watch it because it's the best. And if you're 30-something, watch it.
Yeah, man.
It's a coming-of-age story about us millennials.
I didn't do honourable mentions for albums.
No.
But I did have a list of possible extras for films.
Okay.
Do you want to hear some of them?
Yeah.
I won't read out all of them, but like Dune.
I have Dune on my list as well. I nearly put it on the list.
The Lighthouse, which we've argued about plenty. Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Yes.
Top Gun Maverick.
Ooh.
That movie is crazy. X and Pearl.
Yes, which I still have to watch.
Yeah, I can't wait for Maxine. Mulholland Drive, which you've watched. My Neighbor Totoro. Encanto. I listened to a whole load of the Encanto soundtrack recently.
Encanto's so good.
The movie's very good.
Yeah. I didn't put any animation. I was so good. I was like, no animation, no this, and then I put The Worst Person in the World.
Because that's how much you love it.
I just love it so much.
You don't think of it by... The Thing, Your Name. I almost saw Suzume. It came out in cinemas, and it was only on from a Friday through to a Tuesday.
Okay.
And the Friday, I left to go to France on a school trip, and I came back on the Monday night, and I was like, it's fine, I'll go on the Tuesday, and then Tuesday was when I was seeing Paramore. So I wasn't able to see it, but hopefully now it's had its time in the cinemas. Less than a week, like 4 days it spent in cinemas.
Oh, no.
It's ridiculous. But hopefully now it's been out in cinemas, it will be a matter of time before I can see it on streaming or something, because it does look great. But yeah, Your Name, a huge movie for me. Halloween, Hot Fuzz, Another Round. Have you seen Another Round yet?
No, I need to watch it.
It's
I really need to watch
good. Keys Delivery Service, Easy A is still one of my favourite, like easy watching, relaxing movies. The Wicker Man, Under the Silver Lake, Evil Dead 2, and John Wick Chapter 4 one day could be my... I went to France recently, and I went to a bunch of the places that John Wick goes to in John Wick Chapter 4, and it was so exciting. And Raw, the movie about cannibalism. So yeah, do you have any other mentions?
No, because I didn't go too far, but yeah, I still, still Little Women is incredible, and if not English speaking, but RRR I think is one of my top films.
Oh yeah,
the Farewell.
Yeah.
Yes, and a lot of the ones that you mentioned, Your Name, and
powerful.
What a great time to live with all these amazing films.
Absolutely. Well, that's for both our lists. Why don't we run down them? So my 5 were number 5, After Sun. Number 4, Bait. Number 3, Whistle and I'll Come to You. Number 2, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And number 1, Jurassic Parking.
Fantastic. Jurassic Parking. Oh my god, that game that we played.
Yeah.
Stuck in a car for 11 hours in the snow.
Just put ing on the end of film.
Jackie Browning.
Yeah, that's a good one. Baiting. What are your 5?
My 5. Number 5, Jackie Brown. Number 4, The Big Lebowski. Number 3, Moonrise Kingdom. Number 2, Moonlight. And number 1, The Worst Person in the World.
Very nice. Right. Homework? Are we doing homework this week?
We can if you want.
I haven't seen Jackie Brown really in such a very long time. Might be worth my time to watch Jackie Brown.
Yeah, definitely. And I haven't watched. No, I'm not going to watch the 50-minute BBC Whistle and I Will Come to You.
Why not? I'm going to watch a 2.5 hour long movie.
I'm not watching something that's scary.
You might not find it scary.
Do you find it scary?
It's pretty good though.
If you find it scary, it is not possible for me to watch it.
I'd be so interested though to know what you think of it.
Yeah, but still be interested. I'm not watching it. Also, I'm not sure if I'm going to find it.
Oh, I own it.
No.
I can give you my
password. No, I can't find it.
I can find it for you.
I don't have a VPN.
Yes, you do. I own it on my Amazon account. You can very easily watch it.
I don't have a computer.
It's like 100 years old. How can you find it scary?
You find it scary.
Oh, but it's such a fascinating document.
Exactly.
Oh.
What can I watch?
That's the only thing.
Is it? Did you do it on purpose?
No. After Sun, Bait, Whistle and I'll Come to You, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Jurassic Park.
I've never seen Jurassic Park.
That's not true.
No.
Come on, give it a go. Give it a try.
Whistle and
I'll Come to You.
Okay. If I can't find it though, I can't watch it.
Well, you can find it because I'll give you my account details.
It's illegal.
For Amazon. Shut up. Shush.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's in you might find it under Ghost Stories for Christmas.
Okay.
But I will send you my account details, it's fine. You'll watch it.
Sounds great.
Right. Next week, another exciting episode 101. We're going to discuss the huge cultural event that was The Last of Us TV show.
Yeah.
Yes, because outside of films and albums, The Last of Us is my favourite thing of all time, just about, and Alex loves it as well now, thanks to the mastery of this show. So yeah, we're going to talk about our feelings on that. We've already talked about episodes here and there, so we'll probably mainly focus on the finale and our thoughts on that. But
yes, and the favourite joke that I have of the series.
Okay.
The favourite pun.
Oh, I do love the puns. Have you Did you know that diarrhea is hereditary?
Oh my god, that's my favourite pun.
Is it really?
Yeah. It just
Well, tune in next week for the punchline.
yeah.
Great. Well, join us for that then. It's been a pleasure. What else do we do at the end of an episode? We say we love you very much.
Yeah.
Is that it for this one?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. If you've been with us for 100 episodes, thank you so much.
Thank you.
But come on, get some of your mates listening.
Yeah.
Come on.
We're fun, aren't we?
Yeah.
Not with that attitude, George.
What? Go. Love you so much.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.